Hi everyone, Alex here. Today I'm going to be showing you the Pegasus front end on the Odin. First off, I've changed the way my Odin looks a bit, if you've seen my other videos. So I have a new lock screen now with just Zelda in his wolf form, because I've been playing Twilight Princess lately. And when I go in, I've got a nice clean, like minimal look now, instead of swiping over to get to my emulators. And so I've bundled all my emulators in just one folder here. I've tried to make the ones I use the most reachable on my left thumb, just to make that easy on myself. And you got Android games here, streaming, so Chiaki, Game Pass, etc. System, all my system stuff, files, APK, the Odin launcher's in there because I never use it. And then just some media stuff over here, Play Store, Chrome. I quite like that now. I really like this new look. It's nice to change things up, which brings, the point of this video. If you've ever watched some of my other videos before, I think I've mentioned I've never been interested in a front end because I've said before how, like in Dolphin, for example, I really like the way all this looks, all the game covers are nice, and it's just very easy to get in the game. But now I've done so much with my Odin now in different games and setting things up that I just felt like changing things up. And if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you won't really learn new things and discover if you like other stuff. So this is Pegasus, and I saw this on Discord. I think it was the Odin Discord, and I was like, I like how that looks. So I start to put this on my Odin and start finding out it's actually very hard to do, and it took me a very long time. I had this huge checklist on my notepad, and it's all ticked off today. I only have a couple of problems that I'm trying to figure out, but for the most part, this emulator runs great. And so there's loads of settings as well. Actually, there's not many settings. You go down. Yeah, you can set directories for your games, but you can also put loads of themes on. So, for example, this one is the Switch theme, which is actually really cool. Once you've got everything set up, go into Gamecube. Lots of Gamecube games. And it's just like the Switch. And pretty much all the themes I have downloaded are ones I really like the look of, but I'm finding it hard to find out information about certain things. So on this theme, for example, some of these don't show up. I think this is a really good looking one. But yeah, some of these Android, Wii, some of them just don't show up here. But once you go in, this is a pretty slick looking one to go through your games. And oh my god, setting up all the games on here, like, you start finding out actually some of the ROMs that you have or whatever, they just won't get recognized because you have to do this thing called scrape. I think it's scrape anyway. I will try and put everything I can in the description to help out with anybody wanting to put Pegasus on their Odin. I'll just say that now. This isn't a tutorial for getting this front end onto the Odin because, for example, like, so let me go back to Shin Retro. This is the one that actually made me want to get this emulator. So for example, if I went to like, so this one was really hard to do actually. If I go to Gamecube, I wanted this to run Dolphin MMJR because that's the emulator I use exclusively the most on here, and it just would not open. And there's all these like settings and a metadata file to configure, and it was starting to give me a headache. I had to like keep coming back to it and tackle it at a new perspective. But for a lot of people who want a front end, it might just be better to just use Launchbox or something. I don't know, but I really like the look of this. Also, this is quite customizable. So for example here, I changed all these pictures and made some of them myself. So this one is Android 18 with a little Android logo. I thought that was a neat idea. Then I made this one. So in the background of this one, this was actually the original picture, but then I got this other bit of concept art and the logo and made a cool little Mame picture for that. Some of these I just found and really liked. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. GameCube, 3DS. That's a good one. Nintendo 64. That they originally had Link and Epona there, but I thought I'd mix it up. Chrono Trigger for DS. I thought that would be good. A cool Mega Man for the NES. Tactics for PSP. I found that cool picture of Cloud and Tifa for PS1. This is an amazing picture for PS2. Devil May Cry 3. And then Shining Force 3 for Sega Saturn. Now this one I kind of put together. This one took me a little while, but I thought it was cool. Like a Blaze Fielding Sega Streets of Rage. Then Police Notes Sega CD. My Girl Ooh La La from Space Channel 5. Yoshi's Island for Super Nintendo. And a sexy little Rosalina for the Wii. And this one's got an all games one as well. And I thought, a Smash Bros picture would be good for that. But I will never go in there. And so I still have things to sort out. So for like Android, for example, I'd like to find a way to organize this. Because I'd like my Android games at the top, for example, if I'm going to keep using this. By the way, you can, if you want, set it so that Pegasus will launch when you like turn on your Odin like immediately. So if I go to apps and go to Pegasus and then go down to home app, if I pick Pegasus, now every time I turn the Odin on, I can get rid of the lock screen, for example, and straight into my front end, which is pretty cool. And then the home button here will also take you to Pegasus, which is awesome. I'm not going to do that yet, but that's something I'm planning to do when I'm like good and ready. I thought I'd just go through some of these, everything I've got here. So I had to clean up a lot of my Mame ROMs and rename a lot of these files because they all had like horrible janky bits of stuff I didn't want to see. Let's have a look at this. So I just press this and it's going to open Mame for Droid. This is how I've set it up. So there's a website where you download these files called metadata files, and in the metadata files you set it up so that it recognizes certain file types in your ROM folder as well as the emulator it's going to try and open. And I've got a headache just thinking about it right now. Ooh. And then inside the metadata folder you can also set up your so if say like Final Fantasy VII's got 3 CDs, you can set it up so that you only have one image, and I'll show this in a moment. Ash. This looks like a fun game actually. Yeah, you can set it up so there's only one image and then you click it and it says which disc do you want to open, which is better than say like any other emulator because it shows every disc. And the best you can do in that situation, I think, is customize a picture for each disc. So it says like disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, sorry. Yeah, this game's awesome. And then I can press the start button. I've set that button, and exit game will take me back to Pegasus. So yeah, this front end, I can get a little bit of a clearer idea of what some of these Mame games are. And that will get me a bit more excited to try them out. Game Boy Advance. So when you're setting your emulators as well, you can download these metadata files for individual emulators or RetroArch cores. RetroArch cores was I had to like, there's a lot of stuff here I had to look up either through Reddit or the Pegasus front end Discord, and I discovered that in the pathfinding I have, it was a RetroArch. Mine's 64-bit, and yeah, I can't even talk. I just want to show this off more, to be honest. So Game Boy Advance. So this is a RetroArch core, so it's going to take me right into RetroArch, and this works exactly how RetroArch does, which is great. I've got all my hotkeys. I also set a hotkey to exit RetroArch, so I can get right back in here and pick a different game if I like. Another thing with the scraping. So scraping is, again, I'll try and link stuff in the description to help you deal with this. Basically, I found a YouTube tutorial video which is going to explain a lot of this. And you basically, if you have all your ROMs on your PC, for example, you can get an account on this website and then download this program. And then when you like link your, say, PS2 folder, it will scrape all your ROMs, and you can choose what kind of screenshots you want. If you want like title screen, logo, it's up to you. You can have 3D box art if you like, but I had to make a conscious choice about some of this stuff because it does really rack up space, and I didn't want it to use too much space. I feel like getting a front end that like takes too much space was gonna like defeat the point for me. I've never played this. This looks awesome. I love pinball. Another thing you can do, for example, is you can scrape so that you get sorry, now I'm really into pinball. So yeah, you can scrape so you can have like videos displayed. So you can like look at a game and it will show a short clip of some of the game running. But you know, I read that actually that kind of stuff can lead to draining your battery quite a bit if you're just like looking at a lot of videos. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. Game Boy Color. I haven't got many Game Boy Color games on here. I'm not going to go through all of them. Nintendo GameCube. So as I said, like it was a bit of a headache to try and get this to actually just run Dolphin MMJR. And I've been playing Twilight Princess lately. I think I realized today that the more I play a certain game, the longer it takes to load, and I think that's because of the like preloading textures that I've turned on. So you can see there's a little bit of a wait here. But one thing I don't understand, so I need to find out a fix for this. So I've just opened up the game from Pegasus. Now, if I go to states and load state, it's blank. It's absolutely blank. And I don't know why. However, if I close everything down and just go over to Dolphin and then load up Twilight Princess. And again, it takes a little while. I won't be able to look at my save states until it actually loads in. There you go. So now I go to states and there's my save state. So my theory is that you have to maybe make something discoverable in the metadata file so that it can discover more things within the emulators folder on Android. Because I want to use states, especially for this game, because there's been a few spots where it's crashed for me. There was actually this one section where, so there was an escort section not long before this, but on Dolphin MMJR, every time you tried to get to this section, the game would hard crash. I couldn't figure out a way. I tried different settings, and what I had to do was take my save file to the MMJR2 emulator or another Dolphin emulator and get to that section, do it, save game, and then bring my save file back. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know, I'm really enjoying Twilight Princess lately. Can you see the textures? Oh my god. It's like pixely shadow in comparison. It's weird because I never actually just look at these textures, I just play the game. But this has been running great. I've been having a great time with this. Love the widescreen patch. Love the HD textures. And I actually have to go to the Lake Hylia temple now. Anyway, back to Pegasus. Back to collections. So 3DS is another weird one. So I'm going to try and open a game, and it won't work. I don't know if like it may or may not work, but I have read that the only way this works is if, so I'll open it again, it's going to crash. But apparently, if you already have the Citra MMJ emulator open, then the front end will work. So I can just press A again, open, and then I can press B again to go back, B again, and then I click the game and it's going to work. Slowly. And it works. So that's a small price to pay. I don't understand why the emulator needs to be open first so that the front end can now run games. There must be something to do to fix that. But I can exit game now. And then I can go to, for example, I get to redeem myself here, Super Smash Bros. Because I tried running this once. I totally forgot that I wasn't looking at the second screen to start the game. No thank you. I don't know if I've ever played this. Mario! Come on, Mario. Random's fine. Ooh, that sound. This might be a game where I'm at 3x resolution. I don't know the buttons. Yo, this is running decent at 3x. I'm surprised. You can see in the top left there, it's sort of staying around 60. No, don't kill me. Yo, this game looks really dope at 3x on the 3DS emulator. I got confused who I am. What's the button? So what's the other screen? Oh, okay. So how do I jump? Oh, that's the jump button. Ah! Never mind. There is one thing I'm not totally sure about this emulator. So this front end. So I've opened up a bunch of stuff. So Citra's open, that's open. If you start going from emulator to emulator, it sort of leaves stuff open. So I don't know if, for example, that you might want to, can I go down, please? I don't know if you might want the floating icon on so you can swipe it over and just like clear like unused programs or whatever that is. Right, yeah, Nintendo 64, this opens up Mugen really quick, but there is another downside to this. So I don't know why, but so like this emulator and the PS1 emulator in particular, I've been using like resume save states. So I start the game and it instantly loads my save state. That doesn't work through this for some reason, and I don't know why. So that's two things I have to figure out with this emulator. Don't know what to pick. So resuming save states on emulators that do this, and then why my save states are not, why I can't access save states on the Dolphin MMJR. Dude, I love this thing. I've really enjoyed this project. Applying this front end has been great. I think one of the reasons I haven't looked at front ends before is because I didn't really like the look of many of them. I would look at Launchbox, and I just wasn't too into that. But that you can install multiple front ends on your device and choose whichever one you want to use. I don't know how much space that might end up using. If you're someone with a 256GB model of the Odin, that's going to be very helpful. I have a 128GB model. It was one of the first ones, so I never had the choice to even pick a 256GB model. But then I have a 512GB SD card with most of my games on there. So that's, yeah, I've needed that. But yeah, I am running low on space, and I have to sort of start thinking about what, maybe I should get rid of some of the games I've got. Yeah, and then I can back out, exit. It's going to take me back to Pegasus. Keep going, Nintendo DS. So I've been really enjoying Super Mario 64 DS. I had it when it came out. I never really played it for some reason. This, however, does open up a save state immediately. It's very confusing. I have a widescreen patch on this game, as well as a 60 FPS patch, which has been like hard put in. What am I trying to say? I had to patch the actual ROM, but then the widescreen. It's not a patch; it's a code. But this looks really good. Oh my god. Honestly, dude, whenever I do videos... whenever I do videos, I can't play. The only downside to this version of Mario 64 is... Oh, for Christ's sake. Is you can't use the right stick to look around. If you want to turn, you have to use the L button. Ow. So I'm actually fairly interested in playing this version of Mario 64 as well, because I never played it, but it looks so good. You don't really need the other screen. Yeah, you don't need the other screen at all. Oh, I need to then go to menu and quit. Take me back to Pegasus. Nintendo NES games. This just opens up RetroArch again for me. Whoa, what's that game? Is that Solstice? Oh, this game has the most annoying theme song, but also very catchy. Let's fast forward. I had this game as a kid. Never finished it, I don't think. That'll get stuck in your head. Da-na-na-na-na. Oh dear. I have a friend who remixed this theme. He did a really good job of it. Oh my god, the isometric controls. Usually I don't have problems with them. Alright, exit that. Back to collections, PSP. Oh yeah, so this is another case where like, so where is it? Down here, this is Genso Suikoden. This is a Japanese game which has been patched with a fan translation. So when it came to scraping, it couldn't find any data for this game, has left it blank. Now the biggest downside, as far as I can tell, I couldn't find anything about this. I can't, like, for example, hard press this or go into like my Android folders and just like apply some cover or anything that I want. So what I've did with anything that doesn't have pictures, I've put like that, is that a tilde sign just before the start of the name, so it only appears at the end of my collection, so it doesn't like dirty them. So yeah, PSP, PPSPP. Might as well load. Yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts will do. And it just pops up. I've got a state. Turn that down a bit. I think looking back at some of my other videos, I could actually do with keeping the game volume a bit louder. It's been quite quiet. This game gives me PTSD. That actually sounds a bit like wrong, but this game's very, very tough, and when you actually play it properly and try to like get the best ending and everything, you will go through so much pain. That's something you got to be careful about with handheld gaming. If you intend to play a game that you know is going to frustrate you, you know, luckily I have never gotten so angry that I've went and thrown a handheld. I don't think I'd ever do that. Oh, but you'd be so gutted if you did. Anyway, exit to menu, exit, takes us back to Pegasus, and then PlayStation. So I want to show here that there was loads of games here that have several discs. So Final Fantasy VII, and then it says this game has multiple entries, choose which one. Fear Effect, multiple entries. I had to like type most of this in manually into the metadata files. Ooh. Oh god, that just reminded me I've got to post things in the video description. So this will load up DuckStation, but it won't auto resume the save states that I have. So for example, I first learned this with Alundra because I have a state where it would just load into the first village I was in, and I start the game up and nothing, you know, it would just take me to the start of the game. And I was like, because I hadn't actually saved in game or saved a state, so I lost progress. Not that I was actually playing it. And there's no save state I've made. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Wait, I have a button for I can't remember what my hotkey is for fast forward. What would the hotkey be? Maybe I don't have one. I can't remember what the hotkey is. But yeah, it's you know, it's loaded the emulator, it's playing the game just fine. Alundra is such a good looking game. I really like the way games look on this device, especially, you know, PS1, because I've got like 4 times resolution so that it looks much sharper. This is one of my favorite like sprite games. Yeah, like a type of Zelda with sprite kind of games. Yeah, I'm really good with words. So, exit game. We only have to exit game. It takes us back to Pegasus. Then we have PS2. I actually saw on like the Discord and things, people are having trouble opening these games, using Aether SX2 for some reason, and it just worked for me for some reason. Why is kill switch all the way down there? That doesn't make any sense. Some of these screenshots, man. Look at that path of news. Yeah, I want to play that game. Sorry, I was just like, what game shall I run? Where's Resident Evil 4? Because I have a save state I know I'd like to open. M and O. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I'm not used to that cover. So, yep, open the game. A for SX2. And if I want, I can just go to load state. And I'm in the village. I actually deleted the Resident Evil 4 Gamecube ROMs I have because this runs so good on here. Awesome. Exit game. Near the end. Sega Saturn. I had to move all my Sega Saturn ROMs into the Yabo Sanshiro folder in the Android data folder. Otherwise, the emulator wouldn't work. It would like try and open, but then it would crash immediately. Wow, these covers look really good. Again, here I've Shining Force 3 is this is a fan translated patch, but I've stuck them all down here in a folder thing. So I open Shining Force 3, and I can pick whichever disc I like. Just keeping that out the way so it doesn't look ugly. Just open something up to show that it works. Shining the Holy Ark is a game I have, but I never actually finished. It's a really good like dungeon crawler RPG though. With music by Motoi Sakuraba. For me, he has like hit and miss soundtracks. Like sometimes they're like, oh, that sounds like everything else he's done. And then sometimes, oh, that's strange. What happened there? And then sometimes he like writes an absolute banger. So look at all these emulators that are just still open now. I don't know how much memory they're using, which concerns me. And then Genesis, this just opens up RetroArch, so I'll just boot up something. Just using the fast forward. This game's like a knockoff Zelda game. My name is Alex, so I'm going to put that in. I'll use my fast forward toggle so that I can just get all this out of the way. Where you go? Do I have to join the birthday party? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want from me? I want to leave the birthday party. What do you want? Alright, we'll figure that out another day. I actually finished that game when I was younger. Sega CD, I've only got 2 games here, Snatcher and Shining Force CD. And they use the same core as the Genesis. That's the Genesis something X. Dreamcast, this is Redream. Wait, Crazy Taxi and Crazy Taxi 2, they have very similar pictures. I don't know who like comes up with when and what picture they take. D2 always look ugly, so I'm glad that's got like a little thing now there. I can pick which disc. So yeah, this just opens up Redream. Let's open up Ikaruga. You know what's funny about Ikaruga is you can play it like this, but you have to come up with a way of actually playing it. It's really odd, but it looks cool. Ikaruga is a really awesome game with a really awesome soundtrack. Oops, I keep pressing start. A really cool. Oh, it's the Dreamcast and not the Gamecube version. I played this on the Gamecube, so I went to use the stick. But the Dreamcast had a stick. Why didn't they let them both? I would have preferred to use a stick. I want to use the stick. Wait, I gotta find that out. Let's have a look at controller settings. You can't choose? Alright. Well, I'd have to set that up. I'd have to set that up in the Redream, wouldn't I? So this is Redream. If I press the select button, this is that emulator. If I just go to exit, back to Pegasus. Super Nintendo, just another SNES 9X, SNES 9X current, I think is the core I'm using. Just open something up, show that it works. Oh God, I can't believe I fast forward that legendary intro. This is one of those SNES games where you start it up and you're like, dude, I know this is going to be magical. Again, my name is Alex. It's still awesome to me that all of this is just on this device, and it's just great. I actually saw a review of the Odin today, and just another review of someone saying it's really great, but it's not like something you buy and give to someone. That is customization. You have to download apps, you have to adjust settings. Although a lot of this stuff will run out the back, straight away, especially older emulator stuff. Older consoles, but putting the time in makes this just a lot more worth it. Exit game, back to Pegasus, the Wii. This is just Dolphin MMJR again, so I just remembered that if I wanted to play, I think it's Mega Man 9 and 10, I have to turn off dual core, otherwise they run slowly. I'll just open something up. It really took me a while to figure out how to get this launch box to open Dolphin MMJR. I know it sounds ridiculous, but one thing I hate about trying to configure something is when I run into a step where, say you gotta edit a text file, for example. So I was editing a text file, and you don't know you understand a certain thing. It's okay, so this is trying to find this program in this location of Android, so but it's not as simple as getting a file path from Windows, for example. And then there's other commands, and I don't know why they're using commands like that, file path or file documentary. I can't remember what it said, and I was just very confused. Oh, it crashed. Let's try that again. Is that game specific? And my method of doing things is, if you get a bit stuck and you're not sure what to do, make a backup of whatever it is you're doing. So I make a backup of the text file, and then I start experimenting. So looking up Reddit, Discord, seeing what other people have done, take what they've done, apply it. If it doesn't work, look for something else. And if anything changes, then you start to see that the thing you've just applied you see which bit of it probably did make the change you were expecting, and then you like work from there really. Yeah? I pressed the button. Does this work? Does this game work? I've never tested it. It's stuck though. Okay, whatever. This isn't a testing video. This is 40 minutes long. Oh my god, I do apologize. So there, yeah, then we got to Wii. So this is Launchbox. And I really like it now. I think I might actually start using it. The only thing I have to figure out is GameCube save states and resuming states on emulators I'd like to resume. So N64 and PS1 in particular for me. And yeah, that is it. So the only other thing to really show is like more of these themes. There's this one, Prosperos. Prospero OS, and this actually makes it look like a PlayStation 5. It even has similar sounds. So, you know, it'll first show like the most recent games you've played in a category, or it'll just go back into A to Z, and then you can go to all games and search through all the games. Pretty cool. And it's so quick and seamless as well. Xbox OS. Looks very nice. So yeah, I'm literally brand new to front ends, never used them before. So if you can help me, drop a comment. I'd really appreciate it. If you know a lot more about front ends, please go into detail about any ones you like. I know about Launchbox and Dig, for example. I think there's definitely more. I just don't know a lot about them, and I've never like personally looked into them. I know with Launchbox, after 100 games in your collection, if you have more than 100, you have to start paying. I don't know how much you have to pay, but you have to buy it in order to like look at your entire collection. Yeah, so I'm using Shin Retro. Shin Retro is the one that initially got me like most interested in this. I think it looks great. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. So thanks for watching. I hope this has been a nice insight into a good front end on the Odin. Got to a point now where I feel like I don't really know what else I can do to like expand the horizons of my Odin except just enjoy it as much as possible. So yeah, I don't know what the next video will be, but give it a like. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye bye.